are changing, I keep fading. Maybe one day we'll find a way. And I still wonder why we lost our love tonight. Before you leave my side, just hear what's on my mind. I know we're barely holding on, hearts empty every time you're gone. So can we give this one more try? 'Cause we make it hard to say goodbye. Mind is racing, I keep chasing. Maybe one day we'll find.
And hello! Not quite sure if the levels are right, so if you can give me an indication, that would be absolutely brilliant. Not quite sure if the levels are right, so if you can give me an indication. It does look like I've got something with an echo in the background because it's just coming through. A little bit of stream lag there, so I'll just turn a couple of these windows off and see if I can improve that. No, it wasn't the monitor in OBS. I happened to have a window open on my mod view, which was outputting sound to the desktop also. So I was doubling down on the audio. So I've only been streaming a week. It is a bit of a learning curve. So this time last week we were looking at the new art coming, which launched last Tuesday. Feeling it's quite good so far. I'm a little disappointed on the auction event that launched over the weekend. Let's go to full screen on the game. I think it's probably a better way to view things. Hopefully a few more people can come in and join the conversation tonight. I'm hoping that streaming at this time people will pop along. So we've got a Recruit Galanar event tonight. I'll probably leave that until the server's pretty much done it. Makes it a bit easier, a bit quicker. Which videos have you been watching? So I've been quite lazy this week with my content watching. I usually watch the Arc launch and at least the event guide, but I've not watched that yet. And this week's critical damage is against the Actian, so that could be quite an interesting one. Everyone's got a limited number of runs into that space. Other than that, today looks quite a light event night. We've got rules of engagement, which is not a very engaging piece of content. I have got a ship out in token space at the moment, which will complete the event immediately for me. I welcome in. I'm quite new to streaming, so if you want to ask any questions, just throw it in the chat box. I'm only 15 away from reaching the affiliate, so if anyone wants to hit the follow, please do. Stream scheme. Which one's that? Is that on Discord or just a general tool that's available? I have been watching a few of those. Don't know if you were in last week, but Rev popped by. Did some setup work with me around the layouts and the colourings of the text and the fonts that were on there. Tiberius has been in a few times. It's always good. It's good to have someone who creates content in a similar game or the same game. Thanks for the follow. So whenever I see Tiberius streaming, I do jump on because he jumps onto mine when I'm on. Went and spent a bit of time in Octagon Ron's stream as well last night, which was good fun. I don't have any machine that can play what she plays, Sea of Thieves. It is quite a good game. And one of the pirate shows I used to go and see used to use one of the songs from the game Sea of Thieves as its main closing song. So it does get stuck in your head, that one. So I can see that Zay's just put a follow on. Do you play Fleet Command, or are you just passing by and watching sort of what's on Twitch? So it looks like such a fun game. I'm gutted I haven't got it or any way to access it. This laptop just won't handle anything that needs any real processing power. So I was trying to tidy my office up a little bit to allow the wide angle view. I have got behind me my Ultimate DJ's blanket. So on the countdown to 5 o'clock, I was ready to switch my laptops over, ready to go live and play some of this and get the events done. Not quite sure how long I can drag out a stream tonight with the amount of content and games and events that are live. So my work phone's still beeping at the moment, so can't fully focus on playing. And what games do you usually stream when you're on Twitch? So I've heard of Warzone, but not Mr. Pepper. Is that a console game or a PC? Not sure if today's pull allows me to put another component onto my Defiant. Great luck. Sounds like quite a strange game. If I get the gaming machine that I'm looking at in the spring, then I might actually give that a try. It does sound a bit strange. I have got all the PlayStation 5 set up to do some streaming. But I've not actually found any games on there that I feel stream worthy. Got a friend over in the States who wants me to go back to playing Destiny. So if I do that, I might start putting that on to here. I'll say at the moment I'm just leveling up my Valdor. I used the spend event to take it to T6. And then I saw the brackets for the leaderboard and wish I hadn't. What ships are you flying? I can't remember if you told me the other day. Say the Franklin is a grind, but it's worth it for the rewards as you go through the later levels. The Mayflower, you'll find a lot of people suggest to skip that in the early times, but I quite like my ships, so I did get that early on. Wasn't one of the people who paid for it. I know there's quite a few people out there who call it the Payflower. When it first launched, it was a pay-only item. So that's something I could do actually. Realise I haven't collected the missions yet. Okay, it's not just me, it does say there's 2 missions in here, but when I come in there's only 1 on the available. Okay, the first part is to head up to Atraxi. I did think that was sending me into a token space. I do really hate when missions are behind a token wall. I know some of the ones that were in the Outlaw arc, they put the missions into the token mining space. I quite like that, so I did do my mining into a token space there. I was able to just reset my mine and complete the event in one fell swoop. Saved me getting involved in the Fisha PvP. Hello to those people just joining us. And thanks for the follow the other day, Moo Moo. I did see it and do appreciate it. I had a look at the Heavy Hitter SLB. I did do it last time round when it was the faction hostiles. I took my Pylum, not my Pylum, sorry, my Valdor to the capital systems and hit them to get a big score. But on this one, I don't think I've got the ability to get involved too much. Where's it gone? Right, so it's moved. When I first logged in, it was at the far end. It seems to have moved up to here. But with the damage being within token space, I'm less likely to get involved. I don't want to burn through all my tokens. Let's have a quick look and see where the scores are at the moment. It's quite early. Got people already up there at 7 billion. They're 46. And we'll probably check the brackets. I say Heavy Hitter not being on a weekend as well does make it a little harder to grind. I say if it was over the weekend, I'd be more inclined to throw my ship at it. I do have a full Mantis tokens available, so I've got 9 of those. I've also got 11 Borg ones because they did give us a few extras in a chest earlier in the week. I say, is it critical damage as well? So you're not going to be taking an optimal crew into Borg to do it. Yeah, so critical damage on a Borg, so to get the Vidar's crit chance up. My favourite little cheese on these missions where it says return to your station. If you just undock and redock a ship, it completes it for you. Are you going to try and compete, Moo? So I have not done a few runs for the last few days to build them up because I was close to getting the cargo bay upgraded on my Mantis, which meant that I didn't run into Mantis space to do it for a few days because better to come back with 100,000 loot than 75. So that's why I've built those up. I don't think I need to do any Borg runs today. I said the rewards are very good for heavy hitter, it's just the time commitment. So that reminds me, I've just looked at that and not actually done it. I'm just going to do my refinery claims so they're then ready for the morning. Was that the mini heroic that you just completed?
You've been calling me 1,000 times all through the night. Must be something on your mind. Know that you're lonely and you've been for a while. Could see it in your eyes. You see it in your smile.
Was that one run with your Vidar? Or have you not got the Vidar yet? I think I'm going to pop one of the exos and then complete it. I'm just doing the mini heroic. See what I get from these chests. An Ash Tyler, Officer XP, Captain Killy, Emperor GG. Go on then, because I'm on stream, I'm going to pull a 5 chest from here. Hopefully you guys can bring me some luck on a lucky pull. I say it's downside to the new directives pull. They are quite expensive to get. Well, not a full. They could have done with a Lorca full pull. That would have been nice. GR. I say what is really sort of frustrating is that Harry Mudd's been out for quite a while. I'm not that sort of not far along with him, whereas Cisco and things in the Bajoran loop, I'm actually getting quite far across. Two Sealer. I really need to invest some transport patterns into Kang to get him finished. And no lucky pulls so far. I hardly use him, other than for underdecks and away team assignments. Now I do want to upgrade Harcourt Mud, just for his officer ability of the extra damage if your shields drop. So once I've got Beverly maxed, and I can use Beverly alongside Mud and Eurydice on the Defiant, just to boost that damage up. I should improve that setup. Not looking good so far. Three groups of chests through. Another 2 Mud. Beardy Riker. You've not maxed any officers yet. That's not even any of the original faction officers. No lucky pulls today. It's worth doing is getting these faction credits from the faction store based on your dailies, especially if it's against one of the factions you're not currently aiming for a ship on. You can soon max these out, and any of the rares or the epics that come after that will unlock your transporter patterns, which then gives you the chance to pick shards up for these officers. Khan will naturally complete with your Swarm Sundays, but your original Trinity officers of Marcus, Sharvanik, and Gorkon are worth picking up. But it's hard to sort of max things out because you listen to a lot of the content creators and us streaming are a bit higher level, and we say save up on these currencies for when events come round, and it can sometimes slow down your progress. that'll give me 3/4 of a repair on my pylon, so I'm quite like that event when it does come around. Big hello to the new watchers. Can't see any names that have popped up into the chat, so I don't know if you're on the STFC website. But if you are, pop across onto Twitch and have a chat with us. Just doing dailies, some XP grinding, some away teams. Sometimes it's hard to recover when you've gone down that route, so I completely understand and feel. How are you doing with your main grinding officers? So your Pike, Moreau, Chen and Pike, Moreau, Talan? Me too, Moo. It's quite quiet at the moment. I'm hoping it does pick up. Trying to find a slot to come in to do my streams. Don't want to clash with Tiberius, with Rev, with DJs. But it is just a case of finding an audience, getting people to know I'm here, and come along and join. The first thing I want to do is just reach that magic 50. It does then take a bit of a weight off here. My stats for everything else are where they need to be, so we're getting the right number of people into the chats for the size of the channel. And as it grows, I'd hope that more people did pop along. So that's the Pike you need though, Fairs, for your grinding crew is Kelvin Pike, Moreau, and then either Chen or Talan. So on here, just open that ship up. So this is one of my hostile grinding crews. So this is on my Explorer. So I'm hunting survey ships because that's the quickest grind for XP. Not XP, sorry. Federation, not Federation. I'm not even doing Federation at the moment. Faction reputation. So I've got Chen on here at the moment for there. So as long as you've got these two together, or Picard and Beverly, and then Chen or Talan, then they are sort of probably the best grinding crews you can use to start with. And you'll find that you'll increase the number of kills as they go up. So I've got a max Chen. Pike, the value in Pike is in the initial unlock, so it will take forever to level up. But once he's unlocked, his captain's ability, which is what relies on, well, what Chen and Talan rely on, it increases that, so it reduces the damage done by hostiles. So Chen is for energy weapons and Talan is for kinetic. So Pike, Moreau, Chen, doesn't matter what level, they'll be the best grinding crew you've got. Moreau takes ages to level up as well. So if you haven't done the new, what they called it, the field training events, try and get these completed. Because in each of these there is a decent handful of Moreau shards and Pike shards, which will help you to progress them along. There are a core 3 officers of those 3. Pike, Moreau, Chen. And then you've also got Talan. Talan's easier to max. The amount of players when I started playing that couldn't unlock Pike, it was one of the more difficult officers to unlock. He was only in the transporter store and also in the ultra chest. So which server are you on, Moo? As I am shortening your name down, I'm reluctant to say the full name because I have got a Yorkshire accent, and Moo Moo too is one of those words that does come out a bit ridiculous. So APAC, that is early. So what time is it for you? I remember when I used to game quite heavily when I was at uni. 4 AM was about the time we logged off to go to bed. We're in the midwinter at the moment. We are expecting snow in the next day or two. So if you've ever seen any of the British press when it snows, the country shuts down. We don't handle it well. So it never really gets too cold here. Oh, no, not too cold, sorry, too hot. We have had a hot summer last year where it was difficult to sleep. Warcraft. World of Warcraft. I played that at launch, but dropped off it. Yeah, if it's over 25 degrees, we just stop. That's it. The country goes on strike over 25 degrees. But similarly, over 10 degrees, the shorts come out for people as well. I spent some time in India across January and February, and you could feel the heat warming up. So I was quite glad that we left at the start of March. Because after that it just becomes so hot, it's just unbearable. Yeah, those days were good. I did spend most of those days where it was that temperature in the beer garden. Hi Merlin, welcome in. Yeah, it does get really stuffy. We don't have air conditioning or anything like that at home as a standard. And opening the windows just doesn't do anything. At least when you go on holiday or go to a hot country that's used to it, everything's built for it. So the hi to those that are just joining and watching. Pop on in and chat. At the moment we're just complaining about the weather. Not really talking about the game much today. And if you're not already a follower, please hit the follow button. Will help me grow my channel. So we are looking forward to the launch of Locutus, which I'm assuming must be tomorrow because I was expecting it today for the start of the new week, but then remembered that it's a Scopely week starts on a Tuesday. Looking at his traits in the fleet command building, I'm going to be tempted, but I do expect that it is going to be a £100 officer. Yeah. That's one of the things that I do get tempted very easily. I get led astray. I'm saying if I'm anything like DJ, once he's on stream, I'll be led astray by people that are talking in here. Someone will say do it and I'll end up buying it. That's the problem, is the packs are so expensive in this game. I say the combatants, the immediate unlocks, it's going to be a while till we get to level 10. And the piercing, it's PvP, is Admiral, is a choice of your armadas. And then a speed up on the repairs. So I think immediately, unless you're going to be able to take your building up to level 10 immediately, then I may end up waiting. The Battle Pass is probably the best value pack that I've had. I did really appreciate when they gave the epic resource pack away as a whoopsie chest and gave everybody 40 days worth of access to that, because that is a massive pack. It's about £200 worth of content, I think, in there once it's worked backwards. I kid myself quite a lot of the time and say I'm 90% free to play. But as you can see with my lineup of ships at the bottom, I can't be 90% free to play with a Defiant. a T5 Mantis, and 7 docks. As I was talking to one of my friends in the Alliance the other day, and they were saying that their wife thinks that they're free to play. So heaven forbid she ever finds the credit card statement there. He's a level 54. I don't think there's many free to plays made it up that high yet. I think with the Defiant, they probably would have made more money by releasing it as a free-to-play ship, and then charging for the upgrades. But because I did both, I bought into the ship and got it at level 1, and I've worked through the grind. Whereas if I hadn't had to buy the ship, I may have boosted the ship up to where I want it to be. For my level, so I think I need it to be at T6 for it to be the equivalent sort of stopping power ship as my other ships that are in the Armada lineup. So I completely missed what that mission was, so I need to speak to the pack-led boss. I know that I'll have a bad day one day and just log straight on and just go wipe out a group of people that are sat in one of these piles.
I've been heading down a one-way street, can't turn around. You've been taking every part of me, now you know where to be found. You got me confused, a little off balance. Thought I knew you, but you got bad habits. I only see blue when I'm thinking about you, thinking about you. I'm feeling anxious and slowly breaking. Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting.
Yeah, I found that it's one of those things with the leveling up. The content creators have spent quite a while telling people that level 39 is a great place to camp and to stop for a while, sort of build up the resources, catch up with the research and things. But the game's completely changed since that advice came out. And if you're not into the level 35, the last 2 major pieces of content that have come into the game are completely outside your level. You can't get involved with the Bajoran loop under 35, and then the new loop is gated by the Vidari maxed. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick break. I've got a call coming through on my mobile, so back in 2 minutes.
Give you my heart, but you keep my waiting.
Hello, back. That's one of the delays in getting your rep up, is the warp locks. Have you started to purchase the... Oh, you're at 31, you won't be able to see them yet. But once you get to 32, you'll be able to see the blueprints in the away team store, which will speed up getting the ship. It's annoying that the epics are not grindable. Hi to those who have just joined us. So today's a bit of a chill chat. I've currently got like 4 levels still to grind out on this ship. About 1.5 to 2 million XP per level. It's going to keep me quiet for a few days, I think. Or probably what will happen is I will call the ship back to base and I will spend Platinum to speed the level up. Sorry, my daughter just came in. She's managed to move her tablet case, so it was turning the volume down. So what's your Federation rep at? Hi Trust, welcome in. A new channel getting up and running. I would love it if you would hit the follow button.
In the back of my mind, there's a memory. You were holding my hand tight, kissing on a moonlit street. And I've been missing you since then. Yeah, I still smell you on my sheets. Loving you was sweet, sweetheart.
Yeah, no problem, mate. If you bring a few people back with you, that'd be quite handy.
I remember your eyes like a warm sunset, rolling on my king size bed. Moments that I can't forget, and I've been missing you since then. Yeah, I still smell you on my sheets. Loving you is sweet, sweetheart. Losing you is killing me. Baby, I can't breathe. Honey, I'm on my knees. Baby, can you hear me?
Hi to those who are in the stream watching. Don't be shy. Come on in. Stick a message in the chat. So they've been on for about an hour now. I've still not done a level of this this Valdor. If you are watching and you've not already hit the follow, please do. Massively helps the channel.
Caught myself looking back again, remembering the things you said, the memories of love we shared, the talk of growing old together. We were meant to last forever, but I miss the nights we used to go wherever, staring at the sky, counting on the stars, getting lost in your eyes, the perfect paradise. So take me back to the place where I belong. Cause it can, I can't do this on my own. Yeah,
If you are watching, just do pop your name in the chat. Let me know which server you're from, what level you are.
let's go through this black hole together.
If anyone's got any questions, queries, or wants to run through anything, then just let me know. Happy to discuss crews, strategies. The next stage you want to move to is to have a voice chat so people can come in and talk. So I can get people like Rev, Tiberius up on the stage as well. I think that's a few months down the road. First job is to get the 50 followers. So how's your rep ride going, Moo Moo? I've locked one out at 1 billion. I'm now working on the other two. And welcome back. I was thinking if it was off, I was talking to myself for the last 10 minutes, which sounds like my house with kids. This is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. The name doesn't come from Star Trek whatsoever. When I was a bit younger, I used to work at a zoo. We had a baby gibbon that was rejected by its mum. And he got nicknamed Odo. And I think one of my colleagues at the time, who was also a bit of a whack job, he decided I looked like a monkey, so I could be Odo too. The dragon part was added a little while later, when I started breeding bearded dragons. So, and that one there was my my male dragon, about 10 years old at that point. So the name just stuck, and that's what I've always played under. So I got the PlayStation, I was looking for a name, and just set it up. Yeah, complete coincidence. The only thing that's related now with Odo and DS9 and this channel is I changed my avatar last week to be the Odo avatar when I unlocked that last week. It is quite amusing when I'm listening to streams or watching videos and I hear the name mentioned and it just pops up. And Rev will just reference Odo, and I'll be like, oh, and I'll be looking up to see what he's talking about, or if he's referenced me, or he's tagged me in what he's doing. He's not, he's talking about the character in the game. I say it works. I say I had, when I used to play Warcraft, names built around initials and surnames and things like that to get to. But my dragon was called Trogdor. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. It was back in the days of Shockwave Flash videos. There was a video series called Strong Bad, and he taught people how to draw dragons, and the dragon he created was called Trogdor, so that's why I named my baby dragon. And then my wife named the female Mushu. She's a bit of a Disney freak. Say hi to those who have just joined the chat. Well, joined the stream to watch. Please join the chat. Come and have a chat to us. And if you don't want to chat to us, please press the follow button. I appreciate that just as much as people chatting to me. And no doubt if Bark joins the channel at any point, he'll come in and play some of the sound alerts out at the bottom. because I'm not affiliate status yet, they are still free to play. Yeah, until you reach affiliate status, you can't use the bits. You don't get subscribers to your channel until you're into the affiliate pot. And that's why there's no adverts as well at the moment, because once you're affiliated, then Twitch will monetize your stream. So they'll start to put adverts in and things like that.
And always shall be your friend.
I did try to make them a bit Star Trek friendly. I'm saying since that popped up, I have just noticed that it's not in the place I wanted it. So it should be there. If anyone else wants to play a sound alert, just so I can check and make sure that's moved to the right place on the layout.
If you're someone who needs to hear this, take a breath. For those who
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Yes, it's in the right place.
this one's for you. Want you to take one breath, take one step, and never say never. Things will get better. Only takes one day to rewrite your fate. Know that you'll find your way wherever you are. I hope you're listening. I hope you're living out your
The sound alerts on that screen is in the right place. It pops up right in the middle. I don't like myself that bit. I don't think I'd ever use this this view, but let's make sure it's set up. My game's hidden behind my wardrobe. Not my wardrobe, my bookcase behind me. Better back to the normal view. I think last time I looked at our outlaw system, it was rather busy, so I haven't done it yet. Yeah, there's more blues in there than reds, so I'll probably leave that an hour or so and then go back and do it once everyone's gone to bed. Hello to those new people in the chat. Come along and say hello. We're not scary. Or even just play a sound alert so we know we're here. Say, well, they're free. Let's get them used.
I have been and always shall be your friend.
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just a talk. He smiles politely back at you. You stare politely right on through some sort of window to your right. As he goes left and you stay right between the lines of fear and pain. You begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? Lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night. And I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that the Frey was on here. I don't think it is the Frey's version, is it? In Spotify, it's saying that it's by Joysick. There's a couple of other people coming on stream in Star Trek. It is good that Scopely are doing a campaign to get more players into the game. It does make it harder to get a stream up and running as a new streamer though. I'll say at least it's not the person who's doing the stream of a bus. So DJ was offended when he wasn't offered the sponsored streams. I think with him already having a built community in Fleet Command, it wouldn't have popped for him. The only sponsorship I've had so far has been HelloFresh, but the channel wasn't big enough to take anything on like that yet. I'm still learning, so it would have been a case of trying to do something probably badly and not actually getting anything out of it. I do keep checking the stream elements to see if there is any sponsors for a game, because I would be quite happy to try a game and play it. I'm not at the stage where I'm going to buy a capture card for my PS5 so I can stream games from there. I'll probably just use the inbuilt streaming software. Played a lot of Destiny, so Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Never actually taken it on to stream. I haven't played it for about 6 months though, since I bought the last expansion and then didn't play it, so that was a decent amount of money down the Swanee. I'm probably going to pick it back up. I've been playing Spider-Man, it's the original PS4 version. I think everyone gets offered a Raid Shadow Legends once they've got once they're affiliate, I think. But listening to DJ and Rev, they've said that they have ridiculous rules involved, so they try and make it very difficult to complete. So the HelloFresh one looks quite easy, but I just don't think I've got the following. They have to be UK sign-ups, and the problem with the Fleet Command audience is there's quite a lot that are not UK based. So the people that were following my channel at the time wouldn't have qualified. I've used it in the past. But it was very handy when there was only the two of us. because it sent the right amount of food to feed 2 people. But now, family of 4, when you're doing a meal, it's easier to just go to the supermarket and buy what you need. I don't think we ever have the sort of volume of leftovers that would warrant us buying meal by meal for preparation. But on the flip side, if they were paying me to promote it, then that's different. Hello to those new watchers joining us. They jump into the chat. Kind of gone off the topic of Fleet Command at the moment, but if anyone wants to bring it back round to Fleet Command, we can do. I say, and also if you are watching and you haven't hit that follow button, please do. The more people that follow, the bigger the audience gets, the more interactive we can make it. So I can smell food cooking, so I'm just going to take a 2-minute break to see if anything for me. I do have a feeling it'll be more for the kids, so
Why are we scared of the unknown and not the past? Look for distractions so we can get it off our minds. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. Don't give up. got a fire inside our soul that don't go out. We're beautiful people that can't quit.
And as expected, there was nothing for me.
It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. It's hard to stand when we don't feel strong. But look around, we are never alone. Don't give up, it's not the end. This could be the best that's ever been. Don't give up, it's not the end. Just give it time, it'll be alright again. Just give it time, it'll be alright again. It'll be alright again. Life is fading to black and white. Soul is aching, don't wanna fight.
I've not joined any of the Discords yet.
In this war with myself,
Are you aware of any?
can I make it another night? I've been wanting and wishing and waiting.
Everything that I've read sort of suggests that follow to follow is a sure way to get your account banned and rada.
I am fragile, crumbling on the edge of a breakdown. Lost the battle, trapped in the pain with no way out. I am fragile.
I joined a couple of Facebook groups, but as soon as you post that you're going live on them, they just try and sell you graphics and things.
Got my back up against the wall. Keep on praying, but still I fall. Hard to cope alone.
If you know of any good Discords to join,
For help, but you never call. You never call. I am fragile, crumbling on the edge of a breakdown. Lost the battle, trapped in the pain with no way out. I am fragile.
so if you are aware of any servers that do that, then send me over in a whisper. I think that's the only thing that's letting me down on the affiliate status is the followers. I've reached the levels and the stage for viewing hours, average number of viewers. Tend to get 4 across an average of a stream, which keeps me above that requirement. What would be really cool is if one of the big streamers did spot my little channel and decided to raid in. Yeah, we were trying to raid out last night and I couldn't get myself onto to allow him to have somewhere to raid to. So yesterday I was laid up because I pulled my shoulder playing volleyball. So this track pops round every so often, and it does sound like it should be in the Dark Knight trilogy. Just having a quick look around that Discord that you sent across. It does look quite complicated. So I can't seem to find the bot to respond back to, but we'll pick that up later. Say hi to those that have just joined. The kids have left me some food to eat, so I'm just going to run downstairs and just grab that quickly. I'll be back in about 5 minutes' time. Please don't all leave. So with my kids, if they leave anything, you don't miss it out. So definitely try and make sure I get fed.
Love never promised to be easy. Was an uphill climb, a heavyweight fight, but we kept believing. I wouldn't change a single thing, 'cause we made it, fate has a plan for you and me, so let's chase it, you are my serenity, everything I'll ever need, I swear I'd cross the 7 seas, just to show you that you'll always be a part of me. Remember the nights we almost lost it, but our hearts held on, they knew we'd be loved, and look what it brought us. I wouldn't change a single thing, 'cause we made it, fate has a plan for you and me, so let's chase it, you are my serenity, everything I'll ever need, I swear I'd cross the 7 seas, just to show you that you'll always be, you are my serenity.
I think I found it. I think I've made my first post on that Discord. So hopefully people will pick it up and come along and have a chit chat.
Last night I was all alone, thinking about getting back together. I know we both need time to think about this over and over, but I'm feeling all worn out that this should end. 'Cause you can't keep up with all the things that you've said. Everybody thought we're fine, but they never saw the broken lines. We need to free our minds so both of us can finally find reasons to stay, reasons to go.
I was going to ask, are the game sound effects coming through? Because it seems to have stopped on my headphones, but then all of a sudden it started again.
Can we just think things over? And now you're telling me that you changed after giving you a lot of chances. You know that I won't talk, so here you are abusing my silence. I know it's tearing us apart, but we both have to let go. If we force this love, we both hurt each other.
I've just muted the microphone for a second because the kids have decided they're coming upstairs and getting themselves ready for bed. And as kids are, they are being extremely quiet, bounding around. She saw the microphone the other day and did threaten to sing, so that might be a case of if I don't reach the 40 followers, the 50 followers, sorry, that she comes and sings for everybody. Thank you for follow, Kitty. So I'm UK based, so I do play games at this sort of time.
I have been and always shall be your friend.
So as soon as I found that on the soundboard, that was the first one that went on the list. Well, that after my daughter had chose the fart, because she thought everything... Amazing, what games do you play and stream, Kitty? I realised I was playing this way too much, so I thought, well, if I'm playing it way too much, let's get on Twitch and see if people want to come along and watch me play it way too much. So the first aim is to reach affiliate, and then if I'm allowed to, I may actually sort of stream some PS5 when I'm away from the PC. But again, I'm not sure what games I'm going to stream there. I say I've got the Elite PlayStation Plus, so there is plenty to pick from. Hello, Panda. Thanks for the follow. I think you're the first person to come in and use emotes. Thank you for that, that's a first. I thought the world was going to meet my daughter then. She was eyeing up to walk into the office. It does actually sound like an animated film. Oh, amazing, Panda, thank you. I picked up the bug about a week ago and thought, oh, let's just give this a go. It's my first stream, but I think the video's still online at the moment. I didn't even have a microphone that worked properly, so it was all text-based. I got a few good followers in there. A couple of the other content creators for this game came along. And from there I thought, oh, I might as well give it a go. So I got myself a microphone, which actually now allows me to talk. And I found that my webcam didn't really work very well, my work one, when it was plugged into my main laptop. Had a stripe down the middle, so replaced the webcam. Not done any setting up on it yet, but it seems to be looking quite good on the output feed. But that's what I need people watching to tell me. There are 11 followers. It would be amazing to hit that, and then just sit and wait for the email to come through from Twitch. And to invite me to the affiliate program. See, I feel like Harry Potter, waiting for my letter for Hogwarts. Yeah, this game gives a good average. So I've streamed for 8 days and a couple of hours each stream. Viewers from this game are quite good anyway. So I've always had about 3-4 people in here. So my average is about 5 people watching. So thank you, Jaguar. I think because the game has people who watch on Twitch quite a lot anyway, and quite a lot of good content creators for the game and a loyal community, whenever there's someone streaming, people drop in to watch. And eventually I want to get the bots set up so they don't talk to each other and shout at each other. The last couple of days when I've been streaming, I've been competing against the person streaming a picture of a bus. I think I've mentioned that a few times. I'm not bitter at all, but he's got a decent number of followers and he always has about 80 watchers. I've never seen him playing again. I think the channel's called Buzzy Beats. So if you just went and googled it, it's probably online now doing it, but he's probably not tagged it as STFC. So I've always loved gaming, so if I can do it and share it and chat to people, because this game is a bit monotonous, as people in the chat always say, and without the community it does drag a little bit. I say play some of the games I quite like, Panda. I sort of love Grand Theft Auto 5. I can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. So I do need to turn that Stream Elements one off because it hasn't been quiet here for a while. I don't know why it's piped up. So I jump from game to game, but this one's captured me and had me for 3 years now. It helps that I love the universe it's built in. If it was all built around the new movies with Zachary Quinto and such, I probably wouldn't be as interested, but the fact that it's widened out definitely has me playing more. Yeah, my nan got me into Trek, so I'd probably be about the same age. I'd say my first was TNG. It was only with the movies that I went back to the original series. So you need a nerd alert sound effect for when conversations like that start. Are any of you streaming this evening? So I've been on for 2 hours. I didn't realise it had been quite that long. And as with all good streams, you get a couple of minutes of the chair, so I can just go say night to the kids. Yeah, that's the problem when you're playing games and you're streaming and time just flies away. Does anyone know any good copyright-free playlists that are on Spotify at the moment? I've got this electronic dance music one, which is good, but it's a little too upbeat at times. I try and avoid anything that may get copyright infringed.
So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke
Yeah, I'll have a look at that one, thanks.
in my head, take the pain away.
I say, because it gets picked up on my Spotify, it does play in the car when I plug it in as well, which definitely an interesting soundtrack to drive to.
So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
That's quite cool. I'd definitely have a look at that one. So at the moment I'm just looking for anything that's tagged as copyright free and just playing that.
Cause we be on a tough love, oh we feeling so high. Don't be afraid of falling, cause you know
I know with Twitch you do get away with some of the
cause we be on a tough love, oh we feeling so high.
copyrights. I know they're not as strict on it. I once did a live stream of a volleyball match to YouTube, and Calvin Harris was playing in the background. And within minutes of it going live and being sort of put onto the platform, I got 3 strikes on the on there, and it just muted the music out. Hey, Spark! Welcome in! There were quite a few different people come through the channel tonight, and no one has played the fart sound effect until you got here. I think it's saved just for you, that one. So hopefully it won't be that long, Bark. Only 10 more followers to reach affiliate. So hit 40 tonight, thanks to the guys that are in the chat now. I'm hoping a couple more people raid in or come in and join, and we can be towards that 45 to 50 by the end of the week. I'm not quite sure when my month cuts off with Twitch. Was anyone watching DJ's Twitch the other day? He'd got Trader to record a soundbite, and everyone was playing it every time it was the cooldown went. So he increased the cost to the maximum. And Wardod still played it, so I think it cost 10,000 bits. But Wardod still pressed play on it, so what's that? That's £100 to play a soundbite. I have no idea what day it was because I watched my Ultimate DJ's content on delay because of the time zones. I think it's mainly because before it was the podcast, so the radio presenter works very well with a podcast environment. Then they started to do the live streams on YouTube and now Twitch. Yeah, I quite enjoy it because we're a similar level. So that was a bit weird. I'm noticed on Twitch that the amount of content for Fleet Command has dropped down. If you want any serious game sort of analytics, best thing to do is go on the podcast 'cause it's a bit more structured. So that's the difficulty with any content creation and stuff. I've got people asking me questions about sort of level 15, 20. It's quite a while since I was at that level, so trying to remember back, and the experience that I had was very different to what people are having now. People do get to level 20 and 40 and a lot quicker. People skip ships because they can level up so much quicker because they've increased the amount of rewards and economy at that level. But I got to level 40 and I thought I'd be staying there for a while, and then I found myself at 44 and then now at 46. I can't see myself pushing on towards 50. One, it'll cost too much, both in-game currency and also to supplement it in real money. I have a feeling I'm about to get invaded again, so I've just turned the webcam off. Oh, bark. You might have to send that as a voice alert because it's Nightbots put you out. And there I am. Yeah, colour, just in case the kids walked in. I'm not too keen on them being online at the moment. They're both only 7 and 9. I was just looking for a cloaking sound effect to add to my soundboard there for you, bark. I can't seem to see anything on the sound alerts. I don't think Nightbot's ever banned you, but it has definitely cut your chats off a couple of times. So annoyingly, I've just been given a hard stop. If I want to get fed tonight, I've got to think about coming off.
Tell me something else. Tell me something else. Tell me something else. Tell me something else. Tell me something I don't
I say thanks for everyone who's is coming to the chat and joined in, especially those that have hit that follow button. But I really would like to get fed tonight, so I do need to be logging off. Just having a quick look around who's online, just so we can raid out at the end. I'm going to trade over to Trust Anyone. So if those still here, if you haven't already hit the follow button, please hit it. Definitely helps with the getting to the 50. So everyone, thank you and good night.
Tell me something else. Tell me something else. Tell me.
There, I've not got him. So that's a little bit away, isn't it, really? A little bit away. Odo's coming in with a raid. Odo, I was raiding you. But obviously you're getting up before I am. I'm only supposed to be doing... We've been doing it for 1 hour 23 minutes, so I was supposed to be raiding you, never mind. Thanks for coming and raiding. Thank you for the follow earlier as well. Welcome, raiders. You've done 3 hours. You need to log off. Don't blame you. So we don't play... We play Star Trek Fleet Command all the time, but we don't do regular streams on Twitch of Star Trek Fleet Command, so it's very, very occasional. But basically every 6 months I will do one, like an update where I've got on the game, and this is another one of those updates. And Sapphire very kindly comes on and points me in a lot of directions as to what I should be doing. Yeah, so we've been having a bit of a talk in this one about officers, factions, ships, and research, because I'm basically a clueless level 38. You've talked too much already, you need to relax. Not at all. You've been very much most helpful. Thank you, Odo, for the follow. Thank you, Phase38, for the follow. Hope you're safe and well this evening. Welcome to the crew, and it's lovely to have you on board. So I predominantly play, I'm Trust Anyone, I predominantly play on Commodore Trust on Star Trek Fleet Command, and I predominantly play World of Warships on Europe and North America, EU and NA servers. I also play some other games. I played a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2, I would like to get back into doing that because that's an amazingly fun game to play, and I have streamed a little bit of that. We've also done a little bit of streaming of Frostpunk. We've also done a little bit of streaming of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, and we also and have recently streamed Valheim. And part of the community that I